Cheers, buddy. See you, mate.
Let's talk about this. Let's get it out of the way. Okay, let's talk about it then. So, I've sold the Datsun, as you can tell by the title of this video. Shout out to Bristol 20 Tea and Coffee Co as well. That is a nice coffee. I know a bunch of you are probably going to be a bit bummed out about this, but I'm not, so that's pretty much the long and short of it. So I got a couple of reasons why I sold it. Mainly, the first reason is this is kind of that thing, the Cupra. I'll explain it in the next video. We're going to go over a bunch of Cupra stuff and probably get started on it again. But basically it needs a new roll cage and that's going to be like $2,000. And I just couldn't bear to sink $2,000 into a roll cage again because I did it before. So I was like, oh, I kind of need to get some money back off cars that I own before I can start like spending more ridiculous money on that. So yeah, I don't spend all my money on cars. I try not to because I know it's like super easy to do that. So I pretty much set aside like a budget of what I can spend on cars. And when you've got three, BM, the Cupra and the Datsun, it was sort of like that budget spread out between three cars ends up getting pretty thin on each car. I would much rather get rid of one of them, which then frees up a bunch of cash, and then I can put some into that, I can put some more into the BM, and it just makes things a lot easier. And yeah, it's like one less thing to stress about. Because every time I used to come down the stairs from work, like the Datsun would just be sat right there, and I'd just be looking at it and I'd be like, oh fuck's sake, like I need to probably do something on that. But I just had no drive to do it. Like every time I thought of doing something to a car, it would always be like, my mind would always go to the Cupra or the BM. So that kind of was like the first indication. I was like, do I actually like even enjoy this car? Do I even want it? Why is it just sat there? That pretty much was like a big deciding factor. I would never think about it. I would always just think about those two, so. Yeah, I'm stealing Al's fancy lens, so I've got some fucking zoom on this gun. Whoa. Yeah, what else? I get quite attached to cars, I get quite like sentimentally attached to them. And after owning that for like 7 years or so, you guys probably know that I'm absolutely in love with it. And the BM, I'm completely in love with as well. So like, I know what it feels like to love a car and to like super enjoy it and to just be like obsessive over it. And I just never had that with the Datsun. Like I did for the first like, you know, couple of months of owning it, and before I bought it, I was like obsessed with them. But yeah, that was probably a mistake. So you guys have probably all been there. Like you buy something just on a decision. That used to be where like my stupid financial decisions came in, was cars. And once I got an idea in my head, I wouldn't really think it over. I'd just be like, fuck it, let's send it. And that's what I did with the Datsun. And I'm more than man enough to admit that I probably bit off more than I could chew. And also a third reason is, now this is sat there and I have loads of warehouse space, which is nice because when I want to bring a car in, I can have a bit more room to work rather than like cramming 3 cars in. And yeah, so it's freed up the warehouse, it's freed up some money to spend on my other 2 cars, and it's just a thing off my mind now and it's not as stressful. So yeah, I hope you guys aren't super disappointed. I know a lot of you guys were stoked to see it, but most of you probably would have known that, you know, with the rate I was going with it and the pace of the videos that were coming out, it was probably never going to get done. So now I've got a front wheel drive turbo car, track car, and then I've got a rear wheel drive NA, you know, skid car. It's not a skid car, I didn't say that. But yeah, like they're 2 very different cars and they are super fun to drive, both of them. They're very different, and I just didn't feel like the Datsun is needed anymore. Like that place is not, you know, it's taken. I think 3 cars is more than enough. Like a fast track car, a fun rear wheel drive car, and a daily. And that's pretty much good for me for now. We're getting a bit bright in here. Fucking hell. Where's the fucking button? Nope, other way, that way. That's pretty much it. I haven't been sad, I've just been stoked, relieved. It's another sort of like validation of my decision to sell it. Because as soon as it went, I was like, sick. We've got huge plans for this. I'm super stoked. I've already got a bunch of shit booked in. I literally, within, I think, half an hour of selling the Datsun, that thing is already booked in for a new cage. And then work starts on stage 2. So that's gonna be the next video. Drop me a comment down below, let me know what you think. I hope you support my decision. And if not, then go buy a Datsun and do it yourself. Giveaway from last week. You are the winner. You won the Volt long sleeve, 3/4 sleeve baseball tee. And this week we've restocked the bold tees. These are like our sort of basic 16, 70 quid t-shirts. So we've just restocked these in all sizes. So I'm gonna give away one of these. All you gotta do is leave a comment down below and I'll pick a winner. And that'll be that. And yeah, thanks guys, see you in the next video. Hope you're all enjoying quarantine. I am, that's why I'm on my own with coffee and cars. So yeah, have a good one, stay safe, see you next week. Bye.